In this lesson, we will discuss nesting and what it is. Okay, so nesting is basically a sequence inside a sequence or a timeline inside a timeline. They all are the same thing depending on the program you use. For example, After Effects calls it pre-composing, and that basically means that a composition that you create or a timeline exists within another composition or timeline. So in Premiere Pro, they're called timelines and sequences. You have a sequence inside your timeline window. So when you have a sequence inside another sequence, it's known as nesting. So for an example, if we wanted all three of these clips to appear within a sequence, in other words, nest them so that they show up in one layer, we select them all, right click, go to nest, call it what we want. We can say intro sequence, click OK, and then you'll see here that says we've created a new sequence called intro sequence. We'll put it inside our sequences folder, and then you can see what happened. It created a nest in our timeline, and it looks the same visually. However, if you open this up, it opens our new sequence that has our three inside it. Now, the benefit to this is you can still adjust these however you like, but now you can also play around with the scale and everything by only using one layer because they're all inside it. So, for example, we can go up here and type in fast, which is fast blur. We can drag it down, and then we can blur the whole image, and everything gets affected. So that's very powerful. Okay, so at the beginning, it's at the 43. We can click on the stopwatch, make a keyframe there, go a little further to right. Okay, it stops there. We can create another keyframe, or we can simply just start dragging and it'll auto-create back to 0. So from the beginning, it's blurred, and it becomes in focus. Okay, so let's watch that. Okay, so that's just one example of nesting. You could do this with several different layers. You can do this with an unlimited amount of layers and turn them all into one. If you wanted inside here, you could still nest again, and you can do that as many times as you'd like in order to make editing more efficient. In other words, if you were to try to do this blur effect, you'd have to do it 3 times, whereas doing it this way, you just nest it and then you just do it once.